Thank you, Jose. Welcome to everybody. I'm very happy this afternoon to talk to you about personal brand and networking techniques. The idea to put together those topics is because to have a powerful network, you need to have a clear message. Before to start, I want to tell you something about me. Probably I was, or I am, one of the examples why personal brand in the first steps is important to discover what really you like to do for life. I've been working for many years, more than 20 years in marketing for a very good companies. I always say that I always tattoo the brand for the company that I work with. But the thing is, I never get emotion with the products, even they were really very good products, very good brand. I found that my passion is about working with people, try to help them to find what they really like to do for life. Create a name, create a product, a brand, and be visible. That's why after 15 years, I decided to move to the to work with marketing, but with human beings. Even that was the reason why I went to the United States 15 years ago, and there is that I found how networking could work for you. I'm going to tell you the experience later. To start, I want to tell you that in the last 15 years, many people start talking about personal brand. You need to build your personal brand. You have to be very careful with your personal brand. But what does it mean? Personal brand is what makes you stand out from the crowd. Is how you can tell everybody the difference, what the attributes, the value that you give the company that you are working, or even start to developing a career, not finding a job. Many people be ready to go to an interview and they say, I need to make a package, a message to be successful. That is not the purpose. Personal brand is who you are, what makes you different, unique, and how you can build a career, knowing what's your the strengths. In the personal brand, you are going to show your attributes, the strengths, the skills, and mainly the passion, because this is the most important thing. In personal branding, we have a process. But before I want to be clear about something, it's not about how you look. This is the last part. It's important because it has to be a line message between who you are and how people see you, or what they understand when they listen about you, about your experience. It's not to sell yourself. If you have a powerful personal brand, you don't need to sell. People are going to look for you because they are going to know how expert are you, where is your experience, what do you have to do. Why it's important to build? Because you build credibility. Credibility means that you can prove that you know what are you talking about. Visible, because when they are looking for an experienced person, they need to know how to find you. Then we are going to talk about the social media, how you can build your profile, where you have to be to get connected with people that can help you in growing up your business, growing your career, and then you are going to create loyalty, because when people are happy with your services, they trust on you, and this is loyalty. Okay, to start with the process, the first step is that we need to know who I am. You need to unearth what's the value that you have. Many people ask, I don't really know what I'm good for. So you have to ask yourself, what I can do for free. If you can do for free the same that you are doing when they pay, maybe you are in the right track. But you have to ask, many people have talents, but you have to be clear if these talents, somebody's going to pay for it, because they are going to help you to find a target group, a niche that are able to pay for your services. Some question that is important is ask yourself, what's their purpose? The purpose in life is not to make money. The money is a vehicle to find many other things, to do things. And I'm going to tell you an experience that probably you know the product, but start finding the purpose. It was a person that has everything on life. A great family, the kids went to college, the best college in the United States. He has a good job. He makes a lot of money, has a lot of assets, but find that needs something. He was not happy about the day by day. And he said, I need to find any other thing that maybe after retire I can do forever. This person was practicing polo, the sport, and the main tournament was in Argentina. So he traveled to Argentina, and he was more than surprised. He was in shock when he saw that many people come on the weekend to donate shoes because the kids didn't go to school because they don't have shoes. So then he found the purpose and create a business that helped people to have shoes. The idea was that if you buy a shoes today, I'm going to give one pair for free tomorrow. That's the story about Tom's. I don't know if you know the brand. That's shoes, sport shoes. And the point is that when you find the purpose, everything else is aligned. What happens is, first, the purpose is to give shoes. He can charge a high price, which is a premium value for the product, because you are not buying a shoes. You are supporting other people to go to school wearing shoes. Then he created a name, because in brand you have to, there is something that you call naming, which is your name, my name, or the name that you are going to give to your services or your company. Has to have a meaning. Tom's, at the beginning I thought that Tom's was the name of the owner, but no, Tom's is tomorrow shoes. And the second is the tagline or the slogan, one for one. The same concept we can apply in the personal brand. I want to tell the story because it became one of the most successful products just in the first 5 years that was on the market. It's in Fortune, it's in the stock market. So when you find a purpose, maybe it's the beginning of a big brand. Okay, I want to clarify two things. When we are talking about personal brand, we have to find two attributes. There is rational attributes and emotional. Rational is related with all the degrees that you have, the languages that you speak, if you speak Spanish, English, Portuguese, which soon we will have to learn, or Chinese. The emotional attributes have to be with more than soft skills, meaning, for example, if we are creative, innovators, risk takers, all these things that connect with people, because people are going to remember us not only for what we can do for them, how we can, how we are going to let them feel. In this chart, we need to work in those 4 points, because a personal brand, as a commercial brand, has to have a clear idea where are their strengths and weaknesses. So, what is in the future for me? What I'm gonna be in the next 10 years when maybe 5 generations are gonna be in the market? How I'm gonna be successful? Then you can say that you have a strategic vision, which every leader has to have. Opportunities about the market. For example, right now many people are concerned about the environment. how the product is going to help. For example, right now we are in the summer in this part. The radiation is really high. So we have to know what is going on in the world because we are going to be ready to attend those problems. Threats. What about the competitors? When you have a power personal brand, you are not going to be afraid about the competitors because if the customer decides for another, it's because they are looking for something different. Personal brand gives you confidence. Confidence that you know what you have to offer. In the second part, you have to answer these questions. When you know what is your skills, what's your purpose, you have to build a vision, establish goals, because if you cannot measure the goals, it's difficult to know how close are you to the point. The values are important because every personal brand has strong values, committed with the country, with the world, and you have to put into the message. I want to show that something important in any brand, personal or commercial, is that you have to be authentic. It's the only way that people are going to show you. This is the story that I was telling you. Personal brand statement is a statement that is made around 2 lines that has to show exactly what makes the difference. It's gonna put the attributes, how you can solve a problem, or how you can add value to the company that you are working with. There are 3 points that is important to show all the time in a personal brand. Clarity, because express what are you offering. Consistency, because you have to tell all the time the same message. And frequently, because we cannot change the message because people are getting confused. The other point, which is the most important, is you have to be focused. Because to build a personal brand, sometimes people say, I can do many things. For sure. If you are you work in marketing, you can do many things, but you have to be focused. This is the reason why many people be successful, because they show like a specialist. You have to know many other things, but people have to recognize you like a specialist. The second step is start building a plan to be visible. What helps us is to have a pitch elevator. I know that many of you know what pitch elevator means, but the purpose is to give an idea in less than 30 seconds, or no more than 30 seconds, who you are, how you can help others, and what's important for us to know about you. Why 30 seconds? Because it's the time that takes an elevator to go to the next floor. And I saw by experience, many people find the people that they want to meet in the elevator or just going out from an office, and they get in shock. They can say anything, and you lose the best opportunity to let the people know who you are, how you can help. I suggest you to write down the message and try to feel that. Not memorize, but feel comfortable. Because in just a second, you have to tell them an idea why they can give you an opportunity to meet another time. The idea with the pitch elevator is not to sell. It's not to sell in 30 seconds, because nobody's going to let you be more than that, but is to get interest in what you are doing. The same idea when you writing down the pitch elevator or a summary or a personal branding statement, you can use in your LinkedIn, for example, because LinkedIn, as you know, is a professional network that can connect you with investors, with potential recruiters, with other people that maybe one time are gonna need something from you. Talking about the social network, I suggest always to put a photo, because the photo tells us something about you. The statistics show that people with photo are 3 or 4 times more connected than people with no photos. Pictures build credibility, trust, so I suggest to work in that. Something important and effective when you are working in your personal brand is to identify a target audience or niche, because now the market looks for specific things. If you have something, for example, I was talking the other day about a beverage that is an organic beverage that is very successful in the market, and they start with the idea to be a tea and energetic, like not like Gatorade, but the best thing was that made by tea. So everything was in the same purpose, and what they do, find a market for people who is interested in consuming organic products. They are in Whole Foods, so there you are choosing to have a high price, because as we know, organic products has a little, the price is a little bit higher. Why is important? Because only the people who are looking for organic products are able to pay more for something different. Don't try to be nice or good for everybody, because you can grow, but at the beginning it's important to be just in a niche market. Then you're going to see that doing the networking is even easier. When we work in the personal brand message, we have to have for both situations, to work in the offline world and in the online. And doesn't have to be the difference. The idea is, remember, always be consistent with the message. Especially now that you are running in a project, in a contest, you need to be visible, because as many people know your project, they can give you ideas, they can talk to all other people about the idea, and maybe you can find support for your project. Execute is the last step in the personal branding process, because after you have the message, the whole idea, the image, you need to show to everybody what's that idea, what's the meaning. I want to say something about color in this process. As you are looking to choose a color for your project, in personal brand, always we use a color, because color has different meanings. Normally, we relate the color with the benefits that they have. At the end of this session, I'm going to share with you a chart with the meaning, so you can choose depending what you want to show. For example, credibility for financial institutions are one of the most desirable attributes. So for that, you need to wear or use in the logo blue. So the personal brand now is something that everybody is talking and has focus. So this is a tool that maybe you can use. after you have the message and the image, because the image is very important. Why? Because the idea is when somebody comes through the door, we have to say, I'm not sure about what kind of art this person is involved, but for sure is an artist. How he looks or she looks. You see, that's why image is important. We have first impression, and until you sit and start talking with the other people, they don't know how brilliant, smart, trusty are you. So it's important to align the message with the image that you have. The same for your product or your business. Before we start talking about networking, I want to tell you my experience why I really think that is important and works. Why it works. I was telling you that 15 years ago, when I went to United States, I was reading a book, The Power of Networking. At the end of the book, I saw a message where the writer say, if you have any question, please send me an email. So I did. I was absolutely sure that I will never receive an answer. I was surprised because she sent me an email giving me information where to go to start building and networking in New York. But why is important to have a clear idea? Because I told her what I want to do, what I can, how long I'm going to be in the place. And then she suggests to be in the, to attend some meetings and events in the networking for executive women. I went to those meetings with my pitch elevator, and when the speaker finished, I ran behind her, and I told her what I want, what was my ideas, and then she called me one time and gave me an appointment. My experience with the networking was always good because never ask for a job. This is one of the things that you will never do. You never have to ask for a job. Not for money either, not at the beginning. So I want to share with you the experience because I think it's important when we start building networking, we need to have clear that it's not it's not a way to find a job, ask for money, favors. It's the opposite. We have to offer our time, our support to the other people, because this is a way to start. This is more like pay it forward. Whatever I can do for you, I'm sure that later on somebody's going to help me. But when we start doing the networking, it's important to have something clear. We are doing networking all the time, with anywhere, with anyone, in every moment. Be accessible to the people, help them to be genuinely know. Our networking is a life skill because someday when you need something, somebody's going to come how many people that I know, who knows you. Because I can meet and know many people, but the important thing is if they know who I am. If they know who I am and where they can find me. And we become a resource for others. Networking is a two-way street. This is the most important thing, and it's going to help you for the rest of your life. Good networking skills is the ability to approach others. We have to be very careful with nonverbal communication. We need to find a point to start a conversation. We have to listen 80% and speak 20%. We need to be self-confident about us, about our message, and for everything we have to be positive. Something that many people maybe don't understand is that networking is a process to build a long-term relationship. It's nothing that is going to be immediately. It takes a long time to build this relation. What's the benefit? First, gives us opportunities to know people, to lead some ideas, to start business, get exposure. Then we start making connections. Learn from the experts. But before to start, we need to have a mindset different. That is going to cost us time, money for sure, because sometimes we need to invest to join different organizations, to meet people, to contribute with others in time, is to help people and connect people. One of the best attributes in any personal brand is to be a connector, meaning that if somebody needs information, I'm the one who is going to do this for you. You can contact me and I will know the person, I will have the information, and I'm going to do just in a cake. We exchange information, especially now that you are in the process to show your product, your services, your project. Sometimes you need exchange information to where to find people who can invest or where to find other resources. The point, number 5, is very important because we are building an image, a name, and we have to be responsible for all the information that we give the people. I cannot recommend somebody that I don't know. I can introduce, but I cannot recommend. I only recommend something that I know by experience, that is clear, I can do reference. That's why when somebody starts asking for recommendation in LinkedIn, I cannot do that. I can only do what I experience. So just be very careful, because image and a strong and powerful personal brand, people are going to trust on you. So be very careful. Be very careful. What are you showing your support? When the time comes and you are in the event, I suggest to arrive earlier, because it's easy to be one of the first, so you can talk with the organizers, you can get more information, then walk through the room. I guess that many people went to events and everybody knows each other except you, and it's a situation that is not comfortable, but you can turn for you in a good way. What do you have to do? First, try to join a group of 3. Why? Because in a group of 3, one is talking, the others 2 are listening, but you can slightly start talking with somebody, and it's going to be easier for you being into the group. Choose a topic. The idea when somebody goes to a network event to do a research. You have to know what's the reason, what's the purpose of the event. Even if you have the list with people that is coming, it's even better. Then you have to keep attention on the group, not being more than 5 minutes in the group to try to meet the others. Then I suggest always to walk around talking with different people, and if you found somebody that is really interested, you go back to still talking. But at the beginning, try to cover the full room. You have to be ready to give your business card. I know that most of you are technological, you love save everything in your mobile, but not always is good. So always carry your business card so you can give to the other people. The process after the networking event is to send an email to start the connection. Thank you for the day, for the talking. Even if you offer something, it's the time to send the information. After this, at least one or twice a year, try to be connected with the person. You never know when are you going to need it. There is a rule when we are talking about networking, and they say that between the person that you want to find or to reach and you, there are five people in between. You have to work carefully to identify who they are. But as I told you, in my experience, this one works. Practice your elevator pitch. I told you at the beginning that you need to write down the message, because sometimes when I go to an event, I need to put more emphasis in some message, because I know the people that are coming maybe can help me with ideas, with connections. So you have to be very clear. Remember that a networking, so you have to have a powerful message to be remembered. I'm going to talk about some tips that help you to be more successful. First, when you introduce yourself, repeat at least twice your name and the name of the person that is introduced to you, because it's the only way that first you be clear about the name, that is pronounced in the right way, and second, because you can remember and you can write them down in the back of the card, the name of any point that is going to connect with the people. Sometimes when you leave the event, you are carrying more than 50 or 60 cards, so it's not going to be easier, but you have to be very organized. Be careful with the body language. As we know, most of the communication is, the non-verbal is more than 80%, the verbal is 77%. So sometimes because we feel afraid or not comfortable, we build barriers. So we need to keep on that. And we need to keep eye contact, not because, as many people say, no, maybe you look like you are not a attractive person, because you show that you are interested and you put attention in what the people are talking to you or telling you. A smile is something that is free and helps us a lot to connect with many people. As I told you, you have to listen and then speak. One of the points that makes a relationship, a networking relationship successful, is when we try to help other people. For that, we need to be genuine about what they need. Forget the I want, I need, because this comes to the end. When you are leaving the event, I suggest to say goodbye with a phrase that, for example, how can I help you? Or please let me know what can I do for you. When you go to an event, carry enough quantity of business cards, because we always run out from the cards, and sometimes it's not, we can miss the information. I want to remember something that is really important when we are talking about the personal brand and the networking. People are going to remember when you put attention on them. Don't forget about your name. If you have a name that is not common, it's really an advantage, because you can make a story about that. You can make a story about your project. Now, one of the tools that many people are using every day is storytelling. The storytelling is part even of our personal brand, because we can write a story about who we are, where we are coming from, why we decide to have this project. So invest some time to write the story, because this is going to be different. Remember that personal brand shows how unique are you. Another thing that we need to be careful is to build a personal brand and a networking. We need to have a budget, because many times we need to call people to have a meeting, and if I tell somebody to come because I want to meet them, the idea will be to invite them and pay some, like a coffee, for the time. We need to follow the information. If I'm sending an email, I have to be connected with the people after. Referrals is a good way to start building connections. And as I told you, become a connector. This is one of the most important things. I suggest, I'm sorry because I did not put the in English, but when you try to connect with somebody on LinkedIn or in any social media, please write something about yourself. Don't use the default that everybody uses, and don't say anything about you. If it's personal, I want to know something about you, who you are, what you need, what do we have to exchange, what's the idea to be connected. So that's why I always put the name of the person that I want to connect, and then what I'm doing for life, or what I can help them, no? Or how I can help them. Looks like this is something simple, but sometimes we never answer emails, neither phone calls. So every step that you do has to be with your personal brand. If you never answer my email, I have an image. Oh yeah, she is somebody that never answers emails, forget it. So decide how long, how far, or how many days after you can answer an email. But I always suggest that should be, if you attend a meeting, no more than 48 hours. After that, people forget the event. I want to thank you for the time, Jose. I don't know if you have somebody has a question.
So go ahead and write any questions you have down, or you can raise your hand and we'll listen to what you have to say. But I would like to ask a question. Do you have any advice for what your business card should look like, or what it should have on it?
Yes. I always say that you have to, the best idea when you have a business card is to create something that when I receive it, I don't really have that what your business is. For example, one time a person has a cleaning service and she has a sponge. In the sponge was all the information. When she gave me the sponge, I don't have to ask what's the business, right? So I don't know. You have to identify what's the business. Try to make an association with any idea, so it is going to be easier for whoever receives the card. What's the business? Then check the color. If it's something related with the environment, maybe green will be nice and clear. If somebody doesn't have a business yet, I always, it's not a reason to don't carry a business card. Put your name, what's your expertise, and how I can contact you.
Would anyone else like to ask a question? If you do, please write it down. Okay, we have a question. I love your presentation, but what if I have a schedule in which I only check my emails at 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. to keep me focused on my daily task and not to be distracted by emails?
Yeah, that's why I say that's what I say that everybody has to have a rule. No, in my case, I answer emails no more than 24 hours. If I'm traveling, I answer the person that I'm traveling and I will be back no more than 2 days. But the idea is to don't let the emails get lost, because then people get ideas that maybe are wrong about you. Could be every 2 days, and it's part of your brand, because then people are going to say, I know that Rocio is going to answer in no more than 2 days. And they get surprised when maybe 3 or 4 days nothing happens. But decide how long is good for you. But always answer.
All right, next question. My startup is a mobile application. I am alone in case of more people in the project during the selection process. Does it have an influence? How do I add all?
How do what? Sorry, I did not hear the last part. How do?
The question says, how do I add all? From Ottaviano. I think Ottaviano is asking about how his startup for a mobile application is different perhaps from other businesses.
Well, but yeah, it's different, but should be one of the successful projects now, because many people are working in applications. First, you need to identify the niche. Okay, it's not everybody who has a mobile. So if there are young people, older people, who are going to be the first who are interested. So that's what I say, that because it's an application, it's going to be for everybody. You know that recently, for example, somebody working on application to have some practice in yoga. You download for $1 the application and you breathe and no. So first, as you search who is going to be the niche, who is going to pay for your product before to start developing the whole project. Then you can decide what's the price that these people are able to pay. If it's something really special and the target is people that can afford, maybe if you are the only one or the few to have the product, maybe you can charge a little bit more.
Okay, great. And well, I'm back. Sorry for that. I had to step out of my desk for an emergency, but I'm back here.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the questions that are coming in. I had one more question. As the other questions come in, I remind you that you can type down your question on the questions tab. And maybe I wanted to ask one more question to Ms. Rocio Ames, and this is when is a nice time frame to answer an email? Is this something you need to do right after you have met the person, or do you need to wait a little bit? What is the correct time frame in order to reply to a meeting or to a new acquaintance?
I will say 48 hours is okay, it's good time. Some decide to do immediately, but at the most, I will say that no more than 3 days. Just because many people then forget, no? But everyone has to decide when is the good time. For me, it's 24 hours. Maybe for others, 3 days is okay. But try to be all the time in the 3 days. So, because it's going to be like a rule for everyone.
Great, great. So there was this other question that we tackled on the Spanish version of this webinar, and it was do colors matter in our personal branding strategy? Do colors actually mean something? What are your thoughts and recommendations on that subject?
Yes, I say during the presentation today that the color is something that has meanings. Every color gives us an idea, is associated with some values. I'm going to send to you today, when we finish, the chart like the other day in English, so everybody can check if maybe the color that they want to use for the logo or wear what they mean, no? The red, for example, is warning, but it's passion also. The blue is credibility. The purple is royalty. Green is has to be with organic, ecosystem. So try to put into the message of the brand the color, because it is important. It doesn't matter if it's for personal or for commercial, but has a meaning, and people get attracted always by the color too. You will have the information, Jose, today.
Okay, thank you so much. So on that note, I wanted to remind everyone that we recorded a session, and you'll be able to access the recording of this session on the Bootcamp webpage. Additionally to that, Ms. Ames Rocio will share with us the PowerPoint presentation, so that you'll also be able to go back and look at the presentation. You will find this on the Bootcamp webpage. I'm showing my screen right now, and I hope you can see the address is ybt.net/bootcamp. You can click on the upcoming trainings tab, and you'll see on that page not only the upcoming trainings, but also the recorded activities. So you'll have a lot of videos, a lot of webinars that we've been doing regarding what is a business canvas, crowdfunding strategies, financial projections. So a lot of things that will help you on finishing your deliverables, either for the TIC Americas or the Caribbean Innovation Competition. And you can see the videos, and for some presentations you can also download the presentations. So remember, for the people that are participating in the Caribbean Innovation Competition, you can head to the webpage. It's reachcompetition.net, which I'm showing on my screen right now. You can also head to, if you're participating in the TIC Americas competition, you can head to ticamerica's.net. We have extended the deadline, and you have until January 31st to upload all your deliverables, your business plan, and a couple of more deliverables. You can see all that information on the webpage. Thank you so much, Rocio. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you for this webinar and the other webinar you did. We truly hope to have you on the next edition of the YBT Bootcamp. So I leave you with the closing remarks, and once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jose. And well, my last message is to try to empower everyone to run behind your passions. I know sometimes it's difficult, but you need to start building your brand. Build a solid and powerful personal brand. And even you change the business after, you always have the best asset in you. Be success, be happy. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you, Rocio. Have a good afternoon.
You too.